Yo, what up? This is StupidGenius. You're now tuned into Sarah Harrison, one and only, the lady in the trap.
This is the Sarah Harrison Show. You heard it here first, you dig?
The lady in the trap, you already know she bring the heat first to the UK. Let's get it.
It's what it is.
The Sarah Harrison Show tonight. We are back in the trap. I'm telling you, I've been rolling out the guests in 2016 and they just get more and more exciting because this week I've got some newcomers which I'm really glad to have on my show because they've really not been around for that long. They go by the name StupidGenius, but there's actually two of them. So I welcome on the show Chaz King and Lil Rich. How's it going, guys?
What's up? What's going on?
Listen, I hope that you guys have planned out who's going to answer what, or, you know, you have a little rhythm going on.
Yeah, we definitely got a rhythm going with everything, so we got it covered, for sure.
Great, man. So, I mean, as I did say, you are pretty much newcomers to the scene and to the game, and especially to UK listenership. So I think it's a good idea for you guys to give a background of yourselves. So let's start with, where are you guys from and how did you guys come together?
We're, first and foremost, we're cousins, so that explains how we got together. But we're from Lowell, Massachusetts, it's, near Boston in the United States. We grew up here. We was actually born and raised in New York City for a little while, and then we came here. Our family basically migrated here. As far as in the history books, it's known for, like, being one of the first industrial places to be, you know, really, like, taken off in like, United States period back in, like, the 1800s. So that's what, like, Lowell history was known for. But we're starting to create like a more modern like wave as far as like the hip hop music and the area period. We get associated with like Boston for the most part just because they're our next door neighbor, and there's a lot of stuff going on out there as well. They're literally like half an hour away from us. It's kind of cool that we're from Lowell, you know what I mean? So in no city we get separated from all the other artists out here, so it's cool. How we started basically, I believe I was like 14. Chaz is 4 years older than me. He was 18, and it started, you know, how most artists would start out, just, you know, really having fun with it, just discovering that we could make music on an accidental thing by fooling around, not even really writing records, just freestyling, like out of the bedroom. And as the years came, we just gathered up more knowledge and just basically pursued it that way. And when we started putting out records ourselves, like in the area, they started to gain more traction. Because we always had like a sense of quality in our music. We feel like, you know what I mean? We went to school at Boston University from like 2012 to like we graduated in 2014, and it was through audio engineering. So after that, we went and got our own studio, made it a business, and then we recorded our own records and mix our own records. So we feel like with that way we could save money, and who's gonna really know our sound more than ourselves, you know what I'm saying? That's basically our take for the most part, you know what I mean?
Well, you sound like you've got your head firmly set on your shoulders because you've kind of gone through life having a vision and an aim of some sort. Well, that's the impression that I got from what you just said. You've got a really nice voice, by the way. Like, it's really nice to listen to.
Thank you. I used to sound like Mickey Mouse growing up. But I ended up gathering a little bass in my voice when I turned like 17. So.
That's hilarious.
I'm happy that.
So listen, you spoke about taking the sound to, you know, another level and thinking forward. So what is the music scene like where you're from, or just in Boston in general? And how was it for you growing up? What kind of sounds were you influenced by?
As far as like the area, it's really diverse. Like especially in the city we're from, there's all types of races. You know what I mean? From Asian background to Black American like us. Yeah, Africans to Hispanic, Brazilian. You get all flavors over here. So you get all types of music, you know what I mean? I think as far as like the hip hop scene, there's a lot of talent that goes overlooked, you know what I mean? But it's really like the very couple that break through, you get a chance to really see what's coming out of here. And then hopefully for us, I just hope we could just, you know, kick a like hole in the door, you know what I mean? For like the whole city to be a spotlight on. But as far as like growing up being influenced, I could say my father had a lot to do with that, because like growing up, he'd have the mixtapes in the car, you know what I mean? We'd go out to New York literally every weekend, and like back then, you know, you couldn't really download stuff off the internet, so literally whatever was out on the CDs was like brand new, or on the tapes. So we literally had to go out there and buy like $100 to $200 worth of mixtapes and bring them with us, and that was what we knew as far as new music besides the radio. So he would just, like, when Chaz was around, we'd literally, like, soak all that in because he'll have all the new music. I feel like we were overexposed to music we might not even supposed to be hearing because, like, we'd be, like, 6, 7 years old, 10 years old listening to DMX, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm really glad you mentioned mixtapes because they're such a big part of hip hop and the whole community and the whole breakthrough of underground music. But they do seem to be overlooked, or, you know, especially nowadays, the fact that they're so accessible online. People don't remember the grind that was put into making and distributing mixtapes. So what mixtape can you remember and really feel like that it was on rotation all the time?
Man. I mean, probably like when I was starting to get a little older, I remember a lot of like 50 Cent and like June putting out they would flood literally the market with mixtapes. Yeah, June and radio, they're like over like what 30, 40 volumes. It was crazy, you know what I mean? And then there'd be like a lot of mixed CDs with just DJs that'd make like mixtapes with like compilations of like stuff that was already out. Like, you know, like when people will put out albums, as funny as it is, like you figure like an album is what, like $10 to $15. People will go get the mixtape but not even buy the album really. They're just, there's $5 in the street, you know what I mean? So it's like, why not just go get a mixtape with all your favorite artists on it instead of getting one album? You might not like 7 out of 15 songs, you know what I mean?
Exactly. I don't know if you caught DJ Drama and Don Cannon on the Rap Radar podcast, but they did touch on that, and you know, they kind of got done for it at one point, or almost got done for it. They got away with it in the end, but they smashed it. I mean, Drama, Clue. They sure did, yeah. I'm really intrigued to find out how on earth and why you settled on your name, StupidGenius. It's obviously an oxymoron, but how did you guys come up with that?
Yeah, we basically came up with it because we first started making music. We just used to fool around and so one day we just came up with StupidGenius. Like, and obviously it's an oxymoron because like our family's from New York, so like everything was stupid, like in a good way though, as a slang. Like, yo, that's stupid, kid. So we kind of put that in there for it, and it just made sense for us.
I really like that. I really do. Like, I didn't think about stupid meaning like the, you know, the slang way of using stupid. Okay, well, it's time to move on to actually your music releases. You guys have been putting out music since like 2014, am I correct?
Yeah. We the first thing we really like ever put out was my solo project. That was like way before, you know what I mean? We was doing stuff out the basement, you know what I mean? So
yeah. So what other projects have you put out?
I had put out my solo one too. It was called Crowd, and the link's on the SoundCloud too. You can go to that stuff.
Do you do all the production yourself?
Yeah, most of it. We got a couple of in-house people we work with, but most of it is all us.
I think it's the best when you're triple threat artist. It's the music just comes out so personal, and it's a process that you can really enjoy. Even like with the solo stuff, we always came up producing our own stuff. I started out as we both started out as artists in the beginning, and then picked up producing along the way. But like you said, it is definitely more intimate when we basically get our hands on everything. Just because like we could shape the sound from scratch. And that's why it's always been cool for us, you know what I mean? I think we listen to like basically everything. We're not one track minded as far as music, so that's why we kind of have different flavors and like varieties. We feel like we could almost create anything we want. As far as if we wanted to replicate something, we could do it, but we try and be natural. I feel like we come into our own over the years. Like if you listen to our earlier music, you could hear it and be like, okay, it sounds like a couple artists that I could hear in the game. And just something like in that manner. But now I feel like we've been producing for such a while and just with the artistry for such a long time that now like we've come into our own. Just because even like we're starting to surface a little now that we can see. It's been a long time coming, man. We've probably been making music since like 2008, to be honest. So I guess you touch on that in your latest release. I really like the journey that you take in this mixtape. It's called Gamechangers. Yeah, let's dive into it. I mean, you start off with Scramble, which is a really, really dope introduction, and then you obviously go deeper into your journey and how long you've been at it kind of thing, in Patience, which I really like the fact that you've split it in two. But I want to ask you why you decided to have a part one and part two to Patience.
Funny story about that, actually. It was all one song produced by me and one of our other in-house producers, Pounder. Shout out to him too. He's young. He's just turned 18 years old. He's still in high school, so he's like hyped that all this is happening. But so basically, with that, we just felt like strategically splitting them into two would be a cool thing. Almost like you are getting the idea of one song, but the track listing would be two. You know what I mean? So I don't want to give too much away, but there's a special reason why we have them split up as well. But that's all I'm gonna leave it as. But yeah, Patience. We had a lot to say on that song, so we felt like that's why the song length is so long, as far as like the 2-into-1 type thing. Really, we just wanted to be really innovative and be like, okay, how can we do something cool with this record, as far as like giving our story but splitting something up, you know what I mean?
You said there's a special reason why you haven't split up. You got me thinking all types of conspiracy theories. What do you mean? Yes, tell me.
No, it's coming real soon.
Like you putting it in your music?
Yeah. It's I don't want to give it too much. If I could speak like a little on the song topic, just like speak once again like how we discussed how it's a long time coming. Just literally like patience is definitely a virtue in everybody's life. That's how we feel. You know what I mean? With anything you really strive for, whether it's wealth, health, happiness, love, anything in that matter, of course it takes patience, you know what I mean? Like throughout our career, we got frustrated because things didn't go our way or stuff didn't go like as fast as we wanted it to come. And that's really what we wanted to talk about. Like, you know, from Chaz mentioning that he got to work a trashy job and just didn't have a plan from when he graduated high school to just, you know, being stuck, just trying to figure out what he wants to do with his life, to me talking about what we had to do, the steps we had to take to get where we are now. I honestly remember, like, we was looking for a studio. You know, we was all down and out. We didn't really have that much money to our names. You know, we prayed on it. We made stuff happen. No one really helped us, just us and our managers. We got it done, and that's just something we really wanted to do, so we got it done, you know what I mean? It took patience because it didn't come overnight. Just basically that's what the song topic was about, and that was a big record for us as far as the process.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the most moving points in your mixtape, and it comes so early on as well, which grabs the listener sort of from the get-go. And I really love that interlude, and I could really relate to it. You say something about recognizing your own process and kind of measuring your success by happiness. Like, that's literally my mantra. Society kind of pressures you to feel a certain way.
Yeah, absolutely.
How did you even decide to kind of split your songs with little interludes and, you know, these little pockets that you put in of spoken interludes?
See, with the interludes, a lot of people don't really recognize the voice. Are you familiar with Big Sean?
Wait, that was Big Sean?
Yes, that was him on basically all the interludes.
Because I was like, wow, one of them really sounds like Big Sean.
Yeah, Big Sean's he's honestly a big inspiration to both of us. We listen to him religiously, you know what I mean? And it's funny because, like, after the mixtape was basically, like, ready to master and ready to be put out, that's the last thing we did was take some excerpts from what he recorded, and then we put it onto the records because it just happened to match up with our topics. And, like, we basically had to, you know, dig deep, go through recordings and figure out what we wanted to use, but it all worked out perfectly. And we didn't even plan on it that way. It just, we'd happen to be talking about the same stuff in life, you know what I mean? So it's crazy.
Yeah, has he caught wind of it at all?
We're not really sure, but we have mutual friends, so I'm pretty sure he's actually heard a couple records, so.
Yeah, that'll be quite dope for you guys to collaborate, because you've already kind of started collaborating with a few people that are gaining a good following and have a nice niche market going on. I'm talking about Tory Lanez, of course, which you have a record with called Clean, and I'm really in love with that record. I love the whole R&B vibe that just comes in straight after Patience. How did that collaboration come about?
It came out from mutual friends also. One of our friends is friends with one of his main homies, so it just came naturally like that, you know what I'm saying? He came down here to Boston for a show. We linked up with him and got the record done.
Oh, that's even better that you were actually making the record in the same space rather than, you know, him sending, you guys sending stuff back and forth over the net. It's nice to be in the same room making music, right?
Always.
And the first track that we heard off of this Gamechangers mixtape is Ocean Drive, which features Cousin Stiz. Is he from Boston too?
Yeah, he's a homie. He's from Boston too.
Did you guys make that together as well?
Yeah, how it came about was I produced a couple records for him. We're just good friends that talk to him on a daily basis. We were trying to get a record in the works for a while. We actually went through a couple things, and we just figured that was like the surefire one to go. So that's how that came about. It was produced by one of our other friends. His name is Dumb Drums. He's from Miami. So he got a lot of good stuff too. He just sent the track over. We ended up working on it. That's how it came about. That's actually how we got the name Ocean Drive. It was inspired from them because he's from Miami. Listen,
the mixtape just gets better as it goes along. So, you know, it's kind of impossible to talk about all the tracks, but I really like when it gets to Jump and then you move on to Get to the Chopper with OG Mako. Like, that's a really big track as well. Are you hoping to release any videos to any of these?
Yeah, most definitely. The visuals definitely come out. We're kind of letting some of the fans decide what they like, you know what I mean, to see what we're going to do for visuals, but we definitely have a couple of visuals already done.
Nice, man. So we can expect visuals, and I'm pretty sure that, you know, you've got a stash of music, as you've already said. What kind of projects have you got in line, and how do you guys plan to roll them out?
We got a smorgasbord of stuff. Like, we probably got like 2 or 3 more other projects that one that works, and our work process has changed over the years. It's so crazy. Like, the way how Gamechangers even came about was it wasn't set to release right now, but we always had the stories in place. You know what I mean? Like, so like even these projects that are coming out now, we just don't know which one's gonna come before the other. So we strategize every day. You know what I mean? It's not like we're doing much of this stuff on the fly. We strategize, but the direction we're going in is definitely going to be something no one's going to expect. Just put it that way. It's going to be like a breath of fresh air for everybody, for sure.
I'm excited, and I'm glad you said that right here first on the Sarah Harrison Show, man. I'm glad I've got you guys early on.
I appreciate you having us.
You guys want to give the UK listenership your social media handles and stuff like that, and where can they download your mixtapes?
Sure. This is Little Rich. You can follow me on Little Rich's Lodge, spelled LILRICHISLAHGE. That's on Instagram and Twitter. On Twitter, just the whole StupidGenius. Twitter is StupidG, like GEE. Same thing with SoundCloud, StupidGenius. Facebook, StupidGenius. You can find most of our music on SoundCloud. Gamechangers is available on SoundCloud, on Hot New Hip Hop, Spinrilla. It'll pop up on Google. It's on YouTube. It's pretty easy to find for the most part.
Yeah, you can follow me at Real Chaz King. That's on Instagram. That's on everything. Twitter. It's all the same. Real Chaz King.
Great, guys. It's been so good to find out more about you. There's not much about you on the net, so I'm glad that we had this conversation and, you know, put you out there to the UK audience.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. We appreciate it once again.